There are certain things in business that will always work. No matter what the trends are, no matter what's going on in the world, they will always work. And I'm here to have a very real, actual helpful conversation so that you can make sure that you're actually growing your business in a way that actually feels right for you. And here is what I gotta say. Your purpose should be your driving factor in business always. If you don't feel excited and lit up by what you're doing and purpose driven in how your business is being built and the reason you are building it, and you've made the goal of income and clients more important than your fulfillment, you will not make it in business and you will keep looking for trends and hacks instead of actually making sure you're building a business that actually works for your life. And I'm sharing this for you of really coming from that I've seen so many incredible women get sold this idea in the online space of more money and more clients and more scalability just to wake up to businesses that they end up burning down. I've never been burnt out in my business. I've never wanted to pivot in my business. I've actually been doing the same thing, just better and better and better. And that is because I always let my true desire and my true purpose lead me in business. And I want to share with you how you can do it. The first thing I want you to do is just literally take an honest look at your business and be honest with yourself. Are you building it in a way that, yeah, maybe making you money, maybe getting you clients, but it's not actually lighting your soul on fire? Like if you don't feel ignited by your business, by every aspect of it, I'm telling you right now, there's things for us to shift. Yes, there's seasons of inspiration and lack of inspiration, but you should feel ignited by where your business is going and by what you're actually doing. And see, I see what happens so much of the time is we start that way, right? And no one just does a business just for money. You do it because there's something in you that wanted to share. There's something in you that wanted to give more. And anywhere that you have made the numbers more important than the purpose, you lose connection with why you're doing it and really the identity of someone who's truly leading an impact here versus just caning income. Because I can tell you, as someone just this month alone, my business has done over 60K in revenue. I've worked very minimally, and I've actually been filming so many case studies with so many of my clients. You want to know what I feel most rewarded by? Hearing my clients share their experience in my world, not the income that I'm making. I don't care how much money I'm making if it's not actually giving me a life I want and an actual purpose and desire to want to show up. No one pushes me, you should show up. You should make a video. You should do social media. You should show up and upgrade your program and your curriculum regularly. No one is pushing me in that because when you actually have a purpose-led business, you have a desire-led action. And guess what happens when we are desire-led in our action? We don't have resistance. Those patterns of fear and imposter and all those things that get people in comparison don't get triggered when you're actually truly desire-led. And that's really the secret sauce, if you think about it, to efficiency with your time and your energy and your money. If you're just desire-led, you bypass all resistance. And guess what takes the longest? Actually resistance. I was just talking with one of my clients and she said one of the biggest things that she has learned from me is actually how someone can work an 8-hour day and someone could work an hour and a half, and it actually, the person working an hour and a half can get more done in their business because they're focused on desire and they know what their business needs. And I really want you to hear this because the business world is loud. It is so loud of how we should show up, who we should be. And that is, you think about it, everyone is constantly trying to conform to this level of success that a lot of times I've seen so many people burn down their businesses that they don't even want. And the way that we actually make sure that you're not burning things down, you're not making massive pivots, you're not having to change niches all of a sudden, is because you actually are desire-led allows you to stay steady all along. And here is the way that I've been able to do it and that I would guide you to be able to do it too, is really making sure, one, is your business really built for the life you want? And I truly believe that if you really want to have a business, like right now, my business is truly supportive of my life. I'm not on calls regularly all the time. I'm not having to show up 24/7, yet my clients are getting an impeccable client experience. Like I said, 99% in my Wealthy Woman program, 100% client retention rate in my mastermind. So I know my clients are getting an amazing experience, but I set up my business to not need me all the time. Yet the quality of work that I put out does not don't go down in any capacity. And so what you really want to make sure is your business, are you actually working towards a model that you actually want, or are you doing things that are having you do a model you don't even want, because you're going to resist it and you're going to push it away. The other thing I really want you to think about is, what do you care about? What do you want to be known for in the world, or what impact do you want to have? One of the things I personally pride myself on is take a video camera to any area of my life, any relationship, peak tension with my husband, on a client call, back end with my team. I am truly proud of that. I am the same person. I show up with the same level of presence, the same level of care, the same level of integrity in every single area of my life. I got nothing to hide with anybody. And the reason I can say that is because I've truly built a business around who I really am naturally as a person. There's not a performative part of me. And a lot of times when we build businesses, when we feel like we're trying to perform a certain level of identity and perform this in the business, but really behind the scenes, you're a different person, the more real you are, the more just you are, the more people are going to be attracted to you, because people can feel integrity. People can feel embodiment, and they are smart. They're waking up, especially just with everything in the world and technology. People know what is real and what is actually performative. The other thing I would really look at to be desire led is, what do you love doing? Don't build a business around things you don't love doing. And now this is a sticky question sometimes, because I will say sometimes you think you don't love doing things just because you don't feel successful at it. Say, for instance, you're building a program and it's a lot of you facilitating. And let's say people aren't showing up or as active as you want to. And then you tell yourself, I don't like actually facilitating this program. But really, unconsciously, you feel like you're not successful because you're not getting the show up rates that you would want. So it's very important to separate what we don't feel yet successful or skilled at from what we actually love doing, because they are two separate things. Because here's what I can tell you as someone who's been in business and who coaches a lot of incredible women in business. You will always have things that you're not good at in business. It's called skills. And that's why when we see everything through the lens of skills, there's not an emotional attachment. There's not an identity of who we are. It's just skills, right? The people who are more practiced at that skill are going to be better. And so if I want to get better, it's just a choice to practice the skill and get better, right? And so this is really where you really want to look at for yourself. What do you love doing in the business? Not truly in your heart of hearts, in your dream of dream. What do you love doing? What are the parts you love? So for me, years ago, I always had the vision of having so many women in my programs, life changing, making so much money, incredible, showing up different as in all their relationships. Right? That has always been my vision, and minimal times on my calendar, right? I very much value being a mom. I very much value being present. I very much value flexibility in my life to show up for the people when they need it in my life. That's very important to me. And so something I've always looked at is, how do I make sure that that's always been my North Star? And if I actually look at my schedule and if I actually look at my business, that's literally what I've built. I haven't built a zillion offers, tried all these new launch strategies. I know what works. What works is what you're good at. What works is what you stay with. And what works is what you tweak. And I've consistently actually been running the exact same programs with the same names, completely new programs, completely evolved and upgraded. But I'm not trying to do all these different things all the time, because I know who I am. I know what I'm here to do. And I know the way that I'm here to bring it through. And that's really what I want to give to you. If you really want to have true purpose and true desire and be paid incredibly well for what you do, you have to know yourself and know what you really want. Like, I'm talking your inner self. What do you really want? Not from fear, not from what you think you can have, but what you actually desire. Because when you actually build a business from desire, from that love for what you do, it's life-changing. Your life will change and your business will change and you will change. And I really want to give to you that it's showing up in this way in your business. That desire is the heartbeat of what you do. Desire is what makes you money. Desire is what drives your clients' results. And desire is what drives inspiration. I've never had a motivation problem in my business. Even in the hardest seasons of my life, I still have this pulse of hunger to create in my business. Why? Because I know that I like having a life of purpose. I'm not just doing this to get a paycheck. And see, when you're really connected to what you really want, I'm talking those big, 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 big dreams, and you build now, and you know it's inevitable. The only way you won't get there is if you lower that bar and you go a different direction. You will get there. And that's something I hold all my clients to. And I actually love, one of my clients said to me during our case study, she said, the fact that you hold us to the standard of what we say we really want, and you help us with loving care, but actual real strategy is everything. Because I truly believe we need to be surrounded in environments with people who hold you to the standard of the life you want. Because here's the thing, the unexpected is going to happen. Feeling not motivated. Someone's going to say no to your offer. And you make that a reason why you can't have what you want. You have lost. And not lost for other people, you've lost for yourself. And this is a game of winning at you and winning at life. And when you actually let yourself really say what you want and really let desire drive your business, everything changes. I'll let you guys know that, one of the biggest things that shifted my business was I used to think that there was this unlock to success, in business. You see people making so many amounts of money, and I really got to know a lot of people. And I really realized some people are money hungry and then die out and burn their businesses down. And some people are truly purpose driven and they stay and they sustain. And I realized what makes someone purpose driven. It's not this like calling that you have to download from the universe. It's just a choice of deciding to be a person that wants to have purpose in their life, and that your business gets to be an extension of your purpose. And so for me, it's like, I'm going to show up no matter what. No matter what, I will show up because this is my purpose. And I truly think one of the things that gives us fulfillment in life is having contribution in the world. And your business gets to be that contribution. And it happens that you get paid incredibly well for what you do. And when you make this the focus, and then you apply the personalized strategy, everything is incredible. Because here's the thing. What is the point of money and business and all this effort you're putting in if you don't actually want what you want on the other side? Like, what is the point? For a like, for a trend, for a pat on the back from people? This is why, for me, my greatest reward has never been the 100K launches, has never been the high income, has never actually even been the flexibility to be with my daughter and work minimal amount of hours, or the relationships I have. For me, my greatest reward in life, my greatest reward is that I know that I trust myself, and I trust myself to show up, and I trust myself to choose to create an incredible life for myself, for my business, for my clients, for the world, for my family, and that my life has meaning is everything. And I will never let the hard moments like losing my dad, never let the hard moments that I've navigated many times be a reason why I can't. And that is why it's always a reason why I can. And that the biggest reward is that you have you. And when you build a business from actual purpose, from actual, that your drive is you, your drive is showing up, your drive is being able to contribute, and that's a gift. Everything changes. Everything in your business changes, everything in your life changes, and your strategy changes. You're less distracted looking at what everyone else is doing. Because let me tell you something, business is so simple. And I absolutely believe you need a personalized strategy for your skills, your stage of business, where you are in life, and what's actually happening, which is why I do personalized strategy with all of my clients inside of Wealthy Woman, because I truly believe that's what we need. But I also know that when you actually have purpose driven with personalized strategy, it's gold. Your life is gold. And what you can only create and what you touch is gold. And this is what we do. This is what, to me, being a wealthy woman is being a purpose driven woman, is being a desire led woman, and actually letting that drive how we show up and what we do and the impact we're here to make. So if this landed with you at all, my doors are open. I'm happy to jump on a call, hear about your business, hear about what you do, and really support you in making sure that your purpose, your drive, and the money you make all happen together.